Well, it's the most wonderful time of the year, and I decided to take my girls, my daughter and my daughter-in-law Lori, on a nice field trip. And today we're at Wolk's farm, and we're going to get a tree, a real tree.
And I know how much you guys love when I sing Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. Here we go, right? Yes.
Can't wait. The live entertainment adds so much to it.
Is that for me?
Yeah.
Is that for the neck?
This will be for real cut.
Well, going for a real Christmas tree is really a family tradition for a lot of folks here in Greater Hazleton area, and I know people normally come to Wolk's farm because they have so many good roots here in the valley.
Literally roots for like over 60 years.
It's great. It's a wonderful place. It's so beautiful too, and it's quite an experience here.
I had a real Christmas tree 2 years in a row, and it was like almost like a 911 call because something happened with my artificial tree broke. The base broke, and they hooked me up. They got my tree. They loaded it in the car for me. Someone actually brought it into my house.
Wow.
Nice. I know, I'm spoiled. One of my friends did that, but it was nice. I never came out and cut down a tree, but that's cool too.
Well, how's your little red nose up there, Rudolph?
It's freezing, but it's so fun out here. You know, once you get moving, I guess the heat starts pumping through the blood, right?
That's right. You need some cocoa, and you're all set.
Yeah, well, we're going to have a great experience. So whether you have a real tree or you don't have a real tree, maybe we'll entice you to get one this year. We're going to have all the experts here talking about the trees at Wolk's Tree Farm. So grab a cup of hot cocoa and stay with us. We'll be right back.
Oh, Christmas tree. Do you have a real tree? Do you have an artificial tree? We want you to come here to Wolk's Tree Farm, because they have every tree that you can imagine. If you don't know how to take care of it, we're going to learn about it today because John Wolk is here. And I don't know how many Wolks there are. There must be as many trees as there are Wolks.
We have quite a large family.
Yes, you do. Talk about the history first of Wolk's Tree Farm.
It was about 40 years ago, and we bought our first farm with my father and my two brothers. And actually, this was the first farm we had purchased. So we started growing trees at that time, and here we are today. Just grown trees and grown in size also.
And your father grew a lot of boys too. He has quite a large family with the girls. So I know as a consumer, I sort of like get afraid of buying a tree because I don't know what I need to know. So what should a consumer know before they come to your farm? First of all, you have a website, they could find the directions there, but you also have a stand on Route 93 next to Gould's. It's called Scoopers?
Scoopers, yes.
Okay, and so you have your trees available there. But if I want to come right to the farm with my family and get a tree, what do I need to bring with me?
Just yourself and your family and a good time.
Okay.
We provide everything. We have saws. If you want, you can cut your own. Or if you're not feeling up to cutting it or dragging it, we'll come and cut it for you. And we'll actually bring it back to the tree baler. We'll bale it up for you, tie it to your car, or put it in your truck.
So I get to go through all the fields and pick out what kind of tree
You can pick any tree you want, yes.
Okay, so if I have real heavy ornaments and I want to get a tree that's going to make sure it holds these ornaments, what kind of tree would I be looking for?
You could get a Fraser fir. It has a really sturdy branch structure. The Douglas fir are pretty good also. That's the two most popular trees that we have.
We know outside that these trees look so small because clearly we're in a large space and sky's the limit. How do you know, or what kind of measurements should you take at home before you pick, the tree looks small and you get it home and you're like trying to shove it through the door, it's hitting the ceiling?
Well, it's really easy to bring it in the door because we'll bale it. So no matter what size, it's only about that wide.
That sucker's going in.
Most houses have 8-foot ceilings.
Okay.
So that's the type of tree you want. And we can easily measure it for you. Some people have cathedral ceilings. We sell some that are as high as 15, 16 feet, which we have some right here.
Yeah.
So it really depends on the individual and what their house is and what they're really looking for.
John, once we get that tree home, what do I need to do to keep it alive until the season's over?
The first week it drinks a lot of water because it's coming into a heated house. It thinks it's spring. So it's trying to draw a lot of water up into the needle structure. After the first week, it does not drink as much.
And how many weeks does it last? Like
I have mine in my house for about 5 weeks.
5 weeks. So you're going through the holiday season. I mean, it's a short one this year between Thanksgiving and Christmas,
Yes.
and then if you get it there to mid-January, your tree should be fine.
Yeah, I have mine in my house from Thanksgiving Day until Little Christmas. So there's a long span.
What kind of stand should we be looking for if we're going to buy a tree stand? Which is the best, like with the largest, so you can put a lot of water in it, or what do we look for?
We have different size stands here for
Oh,
sale,
yeah, stands
or if you
too.
have your own. The most popular is a stand with a pin in it, so it's very easy. We'll drill the tree also for installation. All you do is pretty much you just bring it in your house and put it on that pin and cut the string, and it's ready to go. Put your lights on, your ornaments, and you have a beautiful tree. You could fill it with water at that time also, and again, it'll drink almost a gallon of water for the first week. As the season progresses, it takes less and less.
Is there something I have to put in the water? A long time ago, I remember when my mother got her tree, she put baby aspirin in it, said that it was good to have baby aspirin. Then I heard Epsom salt, and then I heard Clorox. It's like, what do you put in the water besides water?
I just put in water.
All right.
I tried numerous things, and nothing really seems to prolong the duration that a tree is in your house. They're going to dry out eventually. It is cut, and it's no longer has a root system.
I love the imperfections of a real tree in your home, the smell of a real tree in your home, and then you can also add color now to the trees, correct?
You can. Yes, we have a dye upon request. You could get pink, white, green, which they already are green, or purple.
Okay, and does the whole tree turn that color?
We'll spray it for you.
Oh, okay.
It's an actual dye that we spray on the tree, and it's biodegradable. It's safe for the house. There's no issues with it at all.
Does that cut the life of the tree in your home as well?
It does not.
Still last the same amount of time? Oh, that's
Yes.
great.
Yes.
And do you deliver trees?
We can. Yes. If you really have no means to get there, we will deliver your tree.
Yeah, because I might come out to get a big long tree, Janine, and I won't have this little tiny vehicle. So we'll have
We
to
could
get
tie
a
it to the
tree.
roof of your car. That's
oh,
no problem.
That's cool.
Specifically, can you walk us through we're going to show each tree, but which types you sell and the differences between the trees?
Okay. Right where we're standing now, these are Douglas fir. Okay. They are strictly a green color tree. We have Frasers to my right. They are a bluish green needle. That's very durable for heavy ornaments. They all last about the same time. We also have blue spruce, which range from a bluish green to almost blue silver. So it really depends what you're looking for. The blue spruce have very thick needles, so it's recommended you wear a pair of gloves because you will get poked quite a bit with the blue spruce. We also have white spruce, we have Serbian spruce, Norway spruce, we have white pine. So there's a whole variety of trees that we have that it's really up to the individual on what they choose.
Well, in addition to trees, I guess you're going to have a lot of branches because I like to fill the urns in the front of my house. My summer pots are emptied out, and I usually come and get my branches from you as well. So you sell those by the bundles as well with all mixed varieties?
We usually give the greens away because we do have a lot. And as we're cutting the trees, as you can see here, there's some on the bottom, on the ground, and most people cut them and we just let people take them.
That's an easy job for me. I could go around and
There
start
you
cutting all the
go.
greens
Start
for you.
collecting all your greens, Mom.
Get a good
We'll hire
workout.
you on the weekend for you.
Oh, that would be great. I love being outdoors, don't you?
Yes, I do.
You have to love being outdoors like this.
Yes, beautiful.
So after you cut a tree down, how many years till we get another tree?
We'll go through this whole field that we're standing. There'll probably be about 10% remaining, and at that time they're usually not the best quality, so we'll remove those, pull all the roots, all the stumps that are remaining, prep the soil, and we'll start from a seedling again. And it takes us anywhere from 6 to 12 years to get a tree, depending upon how big you want it to grow.
That's amazing.
So how many trees in one field, let's say? So you have to have several fields, hence the vastness of your farm.
Yes, you grow in plots, so you have trees every year. So we have trees on this particular farm that have been here, just planted this spring, and already 10, 12 years past that we've installed.
So you have 12 different
Yes.
locations.
Yep.
That's awesome.
Yes, that's correct.
So, I don't know, I just feel like a real tree is like really Christmas. So even if you can't get a real big tree, what are the smallest trees that you sell?
We'll sell up to 3 to 4 footer.
Or you could
That's
be
about
like,
the size
you could be like have
that
like
we
a little
have.
Charlie Brown tree.
Oh
We
yeah.
have no Charlie Brown trees. They're all beautiful here.
They're all
sheared,
gorgeous
very
trees.
nice.
Even
no
the
Charlie Browns.
trees, even the trees on the stumps. We were commenting before. I said, "Oh, look at this cute little tree," and you pointed it out to me that was just part of a limb that had grown back from a tree that was left from last
That's
time
correct.
it was cut down.
The root systems are still alive, and if you leave one branch, it'll still thrive into a tree.
Now we only have to take care of these trees for a couple of weeks, but this is a year-round job for you and your family.
That's correct.
So, I mean, talk about the extent of how long it takes to, really worry about the weather, and what do you do in the summertime with the trees?
We have to mow the rows 3 to 5 times a year. You have to shear every tree every year. You have to feed them. You have to be careful of pests. We run an integrated pest management, so we'll be out here several times a month to inspect them for pests or any type of disease, and then you'll apply what you need to correct that. And typically, we're not applying any of those materials unless it's required.
Well, stay with us. When we come back, we have more to talk about.
Welcome back to the girls. We're here in Black Creek Township at the beautiful Wolk's tree farm. We're here with John Wolk. John, we talked last segment a little bit about the rooted trees. Like once they're cut, they no longer have that root. So what happens if I come in and I want to have that Christmas tree and do something with it after, rather than tossing it outside for the trash man?
We can also we can do a B&B, which is a balled and burlap tree. You cannot keep it in your house quite as long as a cut tree, for the simple fact when you bring it into the house, it thinks it's spring, so it'll start to push bud. So all the branches and new growth will come out, and then when you put it back out into the cold, it'll stun it. So if you're going to do a B&B tree, you should probably only keep it in your house for about 2 weeks.
So if I do that and I'm finished with it and I bring it out, I just leave it outside? I don't have to plant it until spring, or what? How do I care for it then once it's back outside?
You should get it into the ground as soon as possible. What a lot of people will do is pre-dig the hole because we never know what the temperature, and if the ground freezes. You can still plant a tree even though the ground is frozen. It's just going to be a little more difficult. Actually, this is a wonderful time to plant from now right through the whole winter months. Most people think you can't plant trees in the winter, but that's not true. The trees are totally dormant. They don't even know they've been moved.
Wow, that's interesting. How about once the season is over and you're finished with your Christmas tree and what can I do with it? Do I just throw it to the trash? What happens to that tree? Where does it go? What do they do with it? What can be done with it to recycle? I know I've seen where they've taken trees and made ornaments out of them. I've seen a few different things, but what can people expect? Like, does it go to the township and they do something with it? Does it depend on where you live?
A lot of the townships will have a special day when they just collect trees, and then they will chip them and recycle them, compost them for mulch, or sometimes the Fish and Game Commission will take some of the trees and they submerge them into ponds. They make great fish habitat.
Oh, that's great. It's nice to know that they're very recyclable.
Yes.
We live in the woods, so if we were to drag our tree to the back of our house and leave it in the woods, will it just decompose and go back into the earth?
That is correct.
Okay,
it will.
that's
So it's not littering. I know where we live in our community, they have a tree burning ceremony, so the borough has everyone come out, and it's really a good time because family and friends come out and they burn all the trees and get rid of them safely with the fire department.
And we get a lot of families down here. They just love to walk the farm. It's beautiful. Not many people get a chance to walk around this many trees. So it is a very fun day for the families.
Yeah, now what are some things you mentioned about safety, with the safety of the tree to keep it moist to make sure that there's enough water in it, but are there a size or a type of light that's recommended that you advise people to use if they do ask that question?
Most of the LEDs or any of the small twinkle lights, they don't generate a whole lot of heat. The old-time bulbs, they were a little warmer. You'd have to be a little cautious on how much you would burn those. But I've never had any issues with the twinkle lights or the LEDs.
Yeah, and of course you're going to keep it away from any heat elements.
Yes,
You know, because
absolutely.
you want to keep your tree cooler, I guess.
Yeah, you should keep it, away from heat. Certainly not next to any fireplaces or open flames.
Okay, so Lori and Janine, we're in luck because a lot of us get warm at night, so we turn our thermostats down. And the guys are complaining because they're freezing.
But it'll keep our tree alive.
It's good for the tree. It's
Yes,
good
it
for
is.
the tree to be cold. Oh
is
gosh,
correct.
my tree will last all year.
You'll be good for many, many weeks then.
Now, aside from this big endeavor that you have your family with the Wolk tree farm, you also you have other businesses, right?
Yes, that's correct. We have a landscape business. We travel pretty much throughout the northeastern PA. We do large residential and also commercial projects. This year we also started growing hemp.
Oh, okay. And you also have you do a lot within the community. Are there any big events that you take?
We donate a lot of the trees, some to the townships. We donate to some needy families. We get calls, so we certainly give back to the community. It's a wonderful place to be here.
Always. We always see you and your family and your mother now. I'm just curious as to what kind of tree do you select for your mother, and do all the kids go over and put it up for her?
We put it up every year, and my mother gets whatever she wants.
That's right.
She's the boss.
Mommy gets whatever she wants. Do you
That's
hear
it.
that, Sammy and Janine? Mommy gets whatever she wants.
Mom gets whatever she wants.
You were going to cut down your own tree today, so.
Well, I'm going to do that later, but then I think I'm going to need some help because I don't know. Dad's saying his back is sore, and
So
you get
you'll
all
cut
kind
it
of-
and we'll carry it.
You cut and carry. We'll drag it out. We'll
I'll
have
lead
you
the
fill
way.
it up.
I don't
Oh
know.
my gosh.
Rudolph pulls a mean sled, so I think she can
You'll
drag
have
a
to
tree.
guide the way.
I'll guide the way. This way, girls. Follow me.
I don't know. It's just I haven't had a real tree in the house for quite a while because the job has always been left up to me. So I just put like this little tabletop tree, but it's always so, I guess, real Christmas when you have a real Christmas tree.
I love real
Between the
trees.
scent and just the tree itself, when you hang the ornaments, you don't have to worry about too many ornaments. The tree itself is gorgeous.
It's beautiful.
Well, I think we're going to pick one out for you today, and we're going to change that. You're going to have a real tree this year.
We're
How
gonna
about
have
it?
a real tree. I
Yes.
can't wait. It's just I have a spot ready for it. I removed one of the desks in the room, and I thought, well, it looks to me like it's about 10 by 10 there. It looks pretty good. So we'll be able to fill up that whole room.
We definitely can find you a tree today.
All right, how
let's
about
go
Santa
cutting.
Claus likes real trees, doesn't he?
Yes, he does.
Yeah.
If
I
you don't
think
have
so,
a real
too.
tree, you won't get many gifts either.
Oh, that's been the problem.
See
I
that?
need the real tree.
All the
Yes, you
problems
do.
fixed this
Are you
year.
going to get one too?
Yes, I am.
All right, well, I guess we're going on a hunt.
All right, let's go cut down our Christmas tree. Again, stop by Wolk's Tree Farm here. They have a nice website. They actually also have merchandise, right? You have some
Yes.
merchandise online that they can purchase. But come and experience, if you're looking for something to do for the holidays, this is the perfect event to do with family and friends, and it's fit for the whole family.
We also have a Facebook page,
Okay.
and a lot of the families will post their photos on our Facebook. Some of the people like to do that.
Very
Oh,
good.
nice.
That's cool. And if you don't want to come to the farm, don't forget you could go on Route 93. It's
Right.
Scoopers, and you have trees there. And if you don't have what you want, could we order something and you could
Yes.
bring it?
Yep.
Okay.
Yes.
So they have you covered for the trees. The tree specialist, Wolk's Tree Farm. We're going to get our tree.
Merry Christmas.